tag team action for one fall or remaining television time. In the red corner at 242 pounds from Tampa, Florida, the man who says he's the world's greatest athlete, the self-proclaimed #1, Paul Orndorff. And his partner at 250 pounds from Blacksburg, Virginia, Bob Roop. In the blue corner, at 252 pounds from Omaha, Nebraska, the North American heavyweight champion, Ted DiBiase. And his partner at 280 pounds from Waxahachie, Texas, Dick Murdoch.
Tag team action now, and you can tell by the fans' jeers and cheers who they're for. Bob Roop and Paul Orndorff on one side against the North American heavyweight champion, Ted DiBiase, and his partner, the unorthodox grappler from Waxahachie, Texas, Dick Murdoch. You have Alfred Neely saying, give me one man from each team, and calls for the bell.
Man, that could just be like the starter's gun, because I'll guarantee you, with the 4 men you got out there, anything can happen. Dick Murdoch and Ted DiBiase, an all-Texas team. It's got to be with some great pride that Dick Murdoch is the man who started young Ted DiBiase. And DiBiase was Rookie of the Year when Murdoch was probably the top star in the country. And now Dick Murdoch has teamed with him again, with Ted DiBiase, now the North American champion and one of the top rising young stars. And Dick Murdoch, the established giant in wrestling, has got to feel proud that this young man that he started is now teamed up with him in a match against 2 top ones. Bob Roop, a national AAU champion, Pan American Game champion, former Louisiana heavyweight champion, and Paul Orndorff, a man who 2 weeks ago right here on Mid-South won and lost the North American title in probably the most controversial situation I've ever seen due to the stipulations of the match, all in one move. DiBiase and Murdoch, you can tell, have worked out together. They got some teamwork down. They're going to be a hard group to beat. I'll say one thing, when they come from Texas, they have an abundance of the thing that gets a lot of athletes going, that's pride. But #1, Paul Orndorff, has made a pride also. And that man is wired to the ground, and he's on the quest of the North American title, and there's the guy he's after, Ted DiBiase. Like I say, 2 weeks ago, boy, in the most unusual situation I've ever seen, Paul Orndorff won and lost the title in a matter of 60 seconds. And he has been upset ever since. Of course, Paul Orndorff, I think, was upset the day he was born. Bob Roop cheering to hurt him, and Ted DiBiase is really catching Paul Orndorff's fury. But DiBiase, what a power slam, that fluid movement when he kicks it in overdrive, and he's going into the figure 4. He's going into figure 4, which is, I wonder if he has the same confidence he always had, because Orndorff and Roop had developed a counter for it. But DiBiase slapped it right on him. A lot of guys thought they developed a counter to Joe Louis's knockout punch too, but he didn't quit throwing it. And Ted DiBiase's got Orndorff, and Roop is screaming for Orndorff to reverse it. And there Orndorff goes with a reverse. There he goes. Murdoch's telling him to fight it. The crowd is pulling for it. Orndorff's got it reversed, and that goes into the Indian Deathlock on Ted DiBiase, and DiBiase's feeling that excruciating pain. Paul Orndorff is applying it. He's using the leverage of his arms to drive up and really back into it. Murdoch is checking that referee and saying he's not giving. I don't think you can make a man from Texas give. Not the ones I know. The history of the Alamo, all that pride and courage. DiBiase reversed it back on Orndorff. DiBiase has reversed it on Orndorff. Here comes Roop. The referee's caught him. Murdoch's coming in. Roop distracted the referee. He dropped an elbow into DiBiase. And Dick Murdoch, a man from Waxahachie, comes around with his one-man gang technique. And he starts popping Bob Roop. Paul Orndorff is up. Wow, referee Alfred Neely really caught it as Murdoch drove it in. Bob Orton Jr.'s in the ring. He's got Ted DiBiase up in his pile driver as Roop and Paul Orndorff put the boots to Dick Murdoch. And now DiBiase in a lot of trouble. He's just been pile drive. Orndorff wants him. Now Orndorff wants DiBiase. Paul Orndorff, the man who takes everybody's hold, is going to try to pile drive Ted DiBiase. and Orton is going up on the top rope to spike him. But DiBiase gets out of the pile driver, and he pops Bob Orton in the midsection, and he's now Boyd Pierce is pandemonium. There goes the brainbuster. Referee Alfred Neely coming in and counting the fall. Bob Orton Jr. is the one who got pinned, and he's not even in the match. He's not even legally in the match. And DiBiase and Murdoch win it again. And listen to this crowd.
As Alfred Neely raises a hand of the triumphant duo, Ted DiBiase and Dick Murdoch gain the victory in one of the most exciting matches you'll ever hope to see.
Now Bob Orndorff is complaining. Bob Orton complaining. Can you believe that? They're caught red-handed and beat, and they're still complaining, and Neely just leaves the ring.
They had 3 against 2, and the 2 was the winners. Ted DiBiase and Dick Murdoch. We'll be back with more action after this word from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.